if you're not there already, sit tall and take these first few minutes, though, to sort of scan, where your energy levels are right now, what sensations might be present currently in your body. When you do come to your mat, that those first few minutes, these are the most important. This is you opening the door. It's like going into someone's, going to visit someone's home, or a relative, a friend that you haven't seen for a long time. This is you arriving. And as you root your hips down, you kind of take inventory, sense your mat as your laboratory, this space, this dimension for you to explore not only physical engagement and movement, but also all the other dimensions of possibility, abundance. And that takes noticing where you are right here, right now. So as you root your hips down and you elongate your spine, maybe visualize one of those timers that, as you turn the timer over, the sands of time start to drop down into the bottom from the top. Let a similar settling kind of happen in your body physically. And visually, as that small little stream of sand starts, to make its way down, to descend, that represent, all of the experiences you've had up to this point, this year especially. Start to breathe a little more fully, expanding the back of your body, the sides, and breathing high up into your collarbones. As you create the Dirga breath, make it deep, but also balanced. And add the Ujjayi sound. As you keep elongating your spine. It's a very active, intentional thing to pull down through your hips while reaching up through the tips of your ears. And if you can hold the image of that timer right when it's half and half. So imagine like half of the sand is at the bottom and half is at the top. Let's pause and hold a space there. So the next time you breathe in, fill your lungs up completely. Hold your breath in. Pull your pelvic floor in and up, and feel this sustain. Maybe the visual helps of things just pausing, because that's about what's to happen at the end of this week. It's a pause where the page will turn. When you need to exhale, release your breath and let it out. You want to do that 2 more times with a seated mountain. So let your fingers come to the side. If you need to adjust your seat to be comfortable, absolutely do that. As you inhale, reach your arms out and up. Take your time to fill your lungs up. Make sure you're absolutely full, and hold your breath in. If it feels okay, press your palms together overhead or hug the space between your hands, but lengthen up and pull down simultaneously at the same time, equally. Equal effort in reaching down, equal effort in reaching up. Engage your pelvic floor, Mula Bandha, and continue to pull up while your hips reach down and your knees relax. Hold for as long as you can. Let something start to churn and swirl and move. And it really is like a little quiet revolution inside. When your body says that's enough, relax your pelvic floor, let your arms float down at your sides. Let your body breathe its own rhythm of breath, just a few rounds. You can even let go of the lengthening, just a little ease settle in. And then one more upward mountain, upward seated mountain with an internal kumbhak. Arms open, slow inhale, reaching out and up. Gather, fill up completely. Either press palms together, press the space between your hands, reach the tips of your ears up, hold in stillness, like a little sustain, a little pause, a hang time. Be very alert. And still, it may appear on the outside that there's not much happening. But on the inside, there's a continual reaching up while pressing down. Pull pelvic floor in and up. Let things stir and move and churn. There will be a swirling. Something will start to shift. Watch it and feel it for as long as you can. We need to exhale. Let go, release, and let your arms float down. Yes. And then take whatever you just built and start to swirl it around in a seated kind of circle with your ribs. You'll move kind of through cat-cow. So as your ribs move back, you round your spine. You can let your chin come toward your chest a little. And as your rib cage moves forward, lift your chin. So you're sort of extending your spine. You swirl, shoulder girdle, rib cage all around your hips. Keep your breath really long and deliberate and balanced. Steady breath in, steady breath out, and then start to swirl in the other direction. You can make a little sound, the Ujjayi sound, if that would help. And then start to bring the circles to make them smaller, smaller, smaller until you come to center. And remove any props from your mat. Stretch your legs out in front. Lean back onto your hands. Let your knees roll a few times side to side. Release through your hips. Wiggle your toes and maybe carve the inner and outer edge of each foot into the ground. So as you roll, feel the outer edge and really press outside of your heel, big toe knuckle, little toe knuckle into the ground. Now the next time your knees are to the right, stay there, roll onto your right hip, lower to your right elbow, stretch your left leg out long and reach your left arm out long overhead. So the right knee bent and right elbow directly under your shoulder. Now reach long through your arm to open through your side body and adjust your legs so that it's pretty much a straight line from your ankle to your wrist. Lift your left leg off the floor and continue reaching out through every finger and every toe. Take 5 deep, strong Ujjayi breaths here. Reach so much and, with the arm and leg, the long arm and leg, that it feels like your left waistline just got longer. And press down into the floor so strongly through your right elbow and your right hip that you feel your bottom waistline is quite active. Take one more deep, full breath. Nice. And then reach back with your left hand, bend your left knee, catch hold of your ankle in a side-lying half bow. Now bring that long line of energy to the front of your body. Kick your toes back behind you. Lift your chin so your throat is open. And feel length from your left knee to your breastbone. Maybe even up into your throat. Let your arm be passive so the strength of your leg pulls your arm behind your body. Press your belly and your chest forward. Take one more deep breath. Nice. And then lower the left leg behind. Twist so you're on both elbows. Face the floor. and twist as far as you can. Spread your fingers so you press your palms, just like Sphinx posture now, elbows under your shoulders. The left knee moves back far enough that you feel, your hips are perpendicular to your shoulders as much as possible. Now add Ujjayi sound, really strong breath here. Imagine if I was there giving you traction through your skulls, if I could catch hold of your skull and kind of pull your head away from your hips as much as possible. Take one more deep, full breath. Press into your hands, unwind, come back around to front. Place both feet flat, hands behind, reverse table, lift and hold. Spread your fingers, spread your toes. As you drive your hips high, lengthen through your chin, your throat rather, so your chin will lift just a little, so your neck feels nice and long as well. From that position, lift your breastbone even more. One more deep breath here. And then lower your hips. Go back to those windshield wipers. And this time, let one arm sweep around and kind of move a little more briskly. So you roll through both hips, and the trail arm sort of, reaches around. It can go to a high diagonal. It can go along, roll shoulder height. Let the twist happen a little more freely. It can bring the hand down low. One more time, both sides. And then let your knees fall to the left. Lower onto your left elbow. Let's reach out long through your right arm and your right leg. And find just 5 breaths here, as much length as you possibly can. So nothing stopping you here. When the arm is overhead, you can continue reaching so much that your ribs, feel like they spread apart, as well as the leg. If you need to leave your leg on the floor, you can use it to slide out along the floor, which is another way to work the pose here. You could also, by lifting the leg, adds a lot more strength in the outer hip. Take one more full breath. Nice. You can spread toes, spread fingers. You could circle your wrist and your ankle. Bend your right knee, reach back, catch hold of your right ankle. Side lying half bow. Kick your toes way, way, way out back. Press the floor away. Breathe deeply. Make little refinements in your pose that allows you to, get into little nooks and crannies. Can you keep the arm as relaxed as possible? Take one more deep breath. Let's keep that space that you created there in the side and the front of your body. Turn it around into a twist. Face the mat with your chest, elbows under your shoulders. Spread fingers wide. If you're familiar with Kapalabhati breath, that would be a fabulous thing to do right here. You could also stay with Ujjayi. But it's that internal action again of elongation. So you should drive your elbows into the ground. Reach the top tips of your ears, the top of your head, as far away from your hips as possible. And by all means, breathe like you mean it. One more full breath. Nice. And then release all of that. Make your way back around one more time to seated with your feet out in front, hands behind. Now this time we're going to add the twist to the reverse table. So you rise up into reverse table, one arm lifts and reaches, and then lower. Now you've added the twist along with a little back bend. So if you can reach your arm, straight overhead, that's a beautiful thing. If you can lift a little more and let your arm drape down to the floor, you can add it to your back bend. Oh, and sound effects are always welcome. Now, obviously, if lifting one arm doesn't feel good to you, you can work with the reverse table. It's a beautiful thing. One more time, both sides, or 2 more times if you're doing both arms. Nice. Make your way around into table, into all fours. Spread fingers, hands under shoulders, knees under hips. Couple of easy cat-cows here. Chin and tail lift on the inhale and exhale, round. Really move some air now. If you want to make your cat-cow a little more, organic, and kind of circle your hips and your head around as you do your cat-cow. I know it gets kind of crazy. Anything that feels yummy. Now come to center. Tuck your toes under. Separate your knees a little wider. So your hands and your knees make like a box, like a nice square. So your hands under shoulders and knees about as wide as your hands. With your toes tucked under, hover your knees a tiny bit off of the floor. Now all that length we just created in your waistline and the front of your belly, you want to make sure you have hands and knees far enough apart that your waistline is long, especially in the front and the sides. Keep it long. Lift your left foot, lift your right hand, and hold, and smile. Put that hand and foot back down, rise to a wide bent knee down dog. So it's going to feel kind of weird there. Your feet are probably a little wider than you normally do. And you keep your knees a little bent, maybe sway the whole shape, little wag, the whole shape side to side. Take a very deep breath in. And then exhale, come back down into that little hover. Knees right above hovering above the mat, head in line with your spine, waistline super long. Lift your right foot, and that might be enough. You might be like, man, that's cool. Or you shift body weight more to the right hand and lift the left hand and breathe. Really press into the right hand and left foot, and then place them down and rise into a little bent knee down dog. Let's keep your feet as wide as the mat there. Flatten them out. Walk your hands back a little closer to your feet for a twisted down dog. So your hands and feet are flat. And it's twisted tight down dog. Body weight equal, hand to hand, foot to foot. Right hand reaches under, grabs your left ankle, and twist. Look under your left armpit. Try to get your hips nice and high. Pull with your right hand and push with your left fingers or your left palm. You're working to keep your spine long and just like a barber pole spiral. Nice. Release the right hand to the floor, switch. Reach your left hand to the outside of your right ankle, grab it and pull. It's a good idea to have, your knees bent so your belly is probably close to your thighs. You'll probably feel your belly on your thighs. It depends on how long your levers are and what's going on in your hips, but that assures that your spine is long. One more deep breath here. Nice. Unwind. Walk your hands forward into down dog. Bring your feet in a little more classic down dog, about a hand's width apart. Let's take a very deep breath in. And as you exhale, lower into plank. Ride your plank in your down dog a couple of times. Bend your knees, hips toward your heels, unfold up into down dog. Roll around your spine to pull yourself forward. And when you're in your plank, lengthen your body long. Bend your knees, fold at your hips to move back. And so there's that little hover right there. Lift your hips up into down dog. Round your spine forward into plank. Hold plank for a moment. Make it long and strong. Last one. Bend your knees. Fold your belly to your thighs. Unfold your hips up into down dog. Ripple forward into plank. Hold plank 3 breaths. Your heels point straight up. Your legs are straight and strong. Reach the tips of your ears forward. Find the up. Oh, these are beautiful planks from what I can see. Now slowly lower all the way down to the ground. Tops of your feet to the floor. Arms long at your sides. On an inhale, everything lifts up. Head, shoulders, arms, and legs. And then exhale, everything lowers right back down. Do that a couple of times. Inhale, head and shoulders, arms, legs, float. Exhale and lower. Try to keep your legs nice and straight. Inhale, everything up. And exhale, lower. Last one. Inhale, lift and hold. Now put your big toe knuckles to touch and let your pinkies touch the side of your thighs or your hips. Keep the back of your neck long. On an inhale, open your legs as wide as the mat. Open your arms like you're flying in T. Exhale, bring everything back tight, hug, hug, hug. 2 more times. Open legs, open arms, long neck. Exhale, hug tighter, tighter, tighter. One more. Inhale, open, reach wider, wider with the arms. Exhale, hug tighter, tighter, and then release and lower. Hands under your shoulders. Press up to plank or to table and rise to down dog. Bring your feet together. On an inhale, reach your right leg really high. On your exhale, step it to lizard, right hand or right foot to right pinky. Right hand on your right knee, twist, look up toward the ceiling. You can let your left knee drop if you like, or keep the left leg straight. Now when you're pressing, on the right knee, let your hips sink low as you can. Make your neck long. One more deep breath. These are beautiful. Put your right hand back down. Press to down dog. Left leg. Inhale, lift it high. Exhale, step it wide to your left pinky finger. Park the knee. Put your left hand on your knee and push. Push against the knee to help yourself to do two things really. To let your hips sink low, so it creates that nice brace, and to twist as deeply as you can. Now every twist, remember, requires more length. More length. Nice. Put your left hand down. Now listen up. Step up wide to Malasana. Right foot to right pinky. Drop your bottom. So you're in your squat. I'm going to twist one more time from here. Right elbow presses against your right knee. You can have it on the knee or inside the knee. Open your left arm up. Wrap your left arm behind your back. Help yourself with both the right elbow and the left hand to twist as deeply as you can. One more deep breath. And then switch. Bring your left hand down to the inside of the left foot. Press your left knee or elbow into your knee. You can also press it on the knee and twist from a little higher position. And wrap your right hand behind your back, trying to drop your bottom as much as you can. One more deep breath. Hands come down, hips go up, toes turn forward, and heel toe your feet in a little closer for Uttanasana, the forward bend. Now on your next inhale, rise halfway. And as you exhale, fold. Reverse swan dive, press through your heels, sort out and up and open, little back bend. And exhale, bring your hands home. 3 rounds of sun breath. Inhale, gather some air, stretch up. As you exhale, out to fold all the way over. Inhale, rise halfway. Empty as you fold your belly to your thighs. Fill your lungs up as you press down to come all the way up, little back bend. Exhale, bring your hands home. Let's do it again. Inhale, stretch out and up and open, really long. Exhale as you fold your belly onto your thighs. Inhale as you rise. Exhale as you fold. Reverse swan dive, out to come up, little back bend. And exhale, hands come home. One more time. Inhale, get long and tall. Exhale, fold very tightly, belly to thighs. Inhale, reach up and lengthen. Exhale and fold. Reverse swan dive. Inhale, soar out and up and open, little back bend. Exhale down into squat, Uttanasana. So thumbs at your breastbone, hips move back, knees move back. Lift your heels. You're on the balls of your feet. No death grip with your toes. Okay, no death grip. So you feel that little balance challenge. Heels are lifted. Keep your heels lifted and come up into upward mountain. Press down into the balls of your feet. Stand tall, reach your arms way up overhead. Get a little longer, a little taller. And then as you exhale, lower the heels, fold all the way over. Right leg steps back into high lunge. Crescent warrior, open your arms wide, soar out and up. Eagle arms, bend your elbows. Right arm goes under the left, or you can hug your elbows. As you weave or you hug, reach your elbows forward and a back bend. lift up. Take 2 deep breaths here. Now, humble warrior, go to the inside of that front leg. So in as slow as you can. Can you wrap, either hands come down and you're in your lizard again, but if you can wrap your left arm under your left leg, do that. So the left arm wraps under your hand, your fingertips are in line with your toes. Pull against your leg like you're trying to wear your leg like suspenders. Try to get the knee up on your shoulder. And then pull against it while you press your right heel back. Sink your hips low. One day this left leg will shoot out in front of you like half of a firefly. One more deep breath. Say, yes, Amy, I know. Yep. Yeah. Now, unwind your hand. Place it to the outside. Step to plank. Lower your right knee to the floor. Roll to side plank. Swivel your right foot back. Reach your left arm up. And lift your left leg. This is half circle. Bend your left knee. Put your big toe knuckles together. Open both knees like a back bend. Let your left arm drop behind you. It's like you're back bending up over a big ball. Take one more deep breath. Circle your arm around. Bring your knees together. Sweep your feet behind you. Toes tuck. Rise to down dog. Now feet together. Reach your right leg way out back. And do a little lower the foot and then lift. So when you lower your foot, your knees will bend. It's like you're almost coming down into that little hover. And then you push away. So knee to knee, hover, and then push away. So when I say lower the foot, you're still on the ball of your left foot. So you're on tippy toes, kind of, on that left foot. You're bringing knee to knee, tight, and then you push away strong. So get in tight and small, and then push that right leg up. Bring it in tight and small, and pop it up. And see if you can pop and hop, maybe just 2 or 3 times. So you shoot the right leg up, and you pop off the left foot, and then you lower and step your right foot up between your hands for lunge. Yay. Stabilize, rise. Crescent warrior. And we're ready for eagle arms. Find your balance. Left arm under the right, or hug your elbows. Back bend. Elbows reach forward and up. And breathe. Now go low to the inside of the front leg for humble warrior with your eagle arms. And then if you want to unwind and straddle the foot, or start working to wrap your arm under. Now this is called bow to the earth. So you're working again to let your hips sink really low. It opens the front of your hips. It strengthens the back of your body. And you pull against your knee. It's like you're arm wrestling yourself. So your knee is pulling back really, really strong. And your shoulder is pushing forward really, really strong. And the left heel reaches back really long. One more deep breath. And then unwind your hand. Step back to plank. Feet together. Lower your left knee. Roll to side plank. Right arm up in the air. Swivel your left foot behind you like a little kickstand. And then bend your right knee so your feet come together. Your big toe knuckles, basically, they come together. Now, think like the Malasana squat we were in, right? You were pressing your knees wide apart from each other. Do that here. Drive the left knee down into the ground. Press the right knee as far away as you can. Open into a back bend. Like you're going up and over a gigantic ball. Let your throat open. Reach the right arm way back. One more breath. Circle your right arm around. Knees together. Feet go back behind you. Tuck your toes. Hips to heels. Rise to down dog. Breathing in. and breathing out. This time the left leg, three-legged dog, it lifts high. So you're on the ball of your right foot. Bend both knees, knee to knee, and get kind of tiny. So you're still standing on the right foot. Shoot the left leg up and straighten the right. So you bend your knees and pull it in, and you push away to shoot that left leg up. It's like you're loading, and then you spring when it works or when you're ready. And you never have to hop, right? You get a lot of work here in the standing hip and in the hip extensors on the left leg. But 3 or 4 times, if you can hop, do a little hop up. And you get a lot of strength in that standing calf. Maybe 2 more. And of course, you want to land softly. It's a lot of core. Step your left foot up between your hands. Right foot follows, forward fold. Now bend your knees a lot. Drop your bottom down to your heels. This is called toe stand. So when you drop your bottom, you're on the balls of your feet. You can keep your fingers to the floor, but if you can bring your hands to your knees, push your knees away from you, it's going to make you come more to the balls of your feet. Nice. Now you can stay right there with your hands on your knees, and it helps sometimes to push your hands into your knees and to push your knees back into your hands. Or you can open, just like the Malasana or half circle, you can open your knees and have your heels and your big toe knuckles together, and now your back of your hands will come to your inner knee. Now if it works, you only have 3 or 4 more breaths here. Could you reach your arms up overhead? Frame your ears. Toe stand. It's really hard with your knees out in front. Lovely, Sheila. 1 more deep breath. I know, Lisa, you're like, holy cow. Now hands come down, and then knees come together if they're not there already. Hips go up, forward fold, empty your lungs. Inhale, rise halfway. Exhale, fold. Reverse swan dive out to come all the way up. Little back bend. Exhale, hands come home. Let's go around again. We're going to add a back bend in, or a back strengthener. Inhale, open your arms wide, gather up. Exhale, swan dive and fold. Inhale, rise halfway. Hands down, right leg back. Crescent lunge. Crescent warrior, rise. Frame your ears. Remember here in the warriors, it's really easy to back bend, like stick your booty out to stretch this leg really straight. Most people need a little bit of a bend to get your hips underneath of you. So play with that. You're going to feel more strength in your glute and your hamstring to have your hips under you versus behind you. Now frame, eagle arms, right elbow under the left. Lift your elbows up into your back bend. And with your hips underneath of you, you have much more stability in your back bend as well. Lovely. Humble warrior with eagle arms. Come on out. Go out a little further this time. Reach way out, and then down. Try to wrap one more time. Left arm under the knee. Your choice, leg straight or back knee down. Pull. Pull really strong. Deep, full breaths. Now this time, do lower the back knee. Sweep your right foot behind, just like we did earlier. And now you still have your left hand under the right knee. Left hand under the left knee. Now move back and forth a few times. Feel how you can shift your body weight back and forth. Now with your right hand, reach around and grab your big toe. And start to look under your right armpit. It's kind of fun, right? And then you come forward into lunge. So you pull your hips back and you start to look under your right armpit. And then you lunge forward. Now maybe when you pull back and you look under your right armpit, You might be able to adjust your left hand, so you pull it back a little bit so you can lift your right leg. You're like, what? You got this, Amy. You totally got this. So when you pull your left hand back a little closer to you, you push into your left hand and your right knee, and boom, that left leg comes. Yay, look at that. So fun. Put your foot down, come back into lunge, right leg behind, unwind your left hand, float to plank, and say voila. Lower your right knee, half or side plank, left arm up in the air. Lift your left leg. Half circle, bend your left knee, big toes together. Open, so this is a nice counter pose for what you just did. Open your knees, open that left arm. Release, breathe, breathe, breathe. Circle your hand around, circle your knee around, bring your feet back behind you. Lower all the way down to your belly. Arms long at your sides, palms face down. Press your hands into the floor. And how would it feel to lift your gaze so that your chin is on the floor and you're looking, you're kind of looking out along the floor? If that doesn't feel, so that's adding extension to your neck. If that doesn't feel good in your neck, and for most of us that's pretty healthy, because we're kind of losing the natural curve in our neck because of technology and sitting. So just go cautiously. Try not to wrinkle it. You don't want to like compress your neck, but there is extension there. So try to keep that. Press your hands down. Press your hips down. Lift your right leg back and up. And reach your right leg really long. Now make sure you're not pressing down with your left leg. Okay, the left leg is relaxed. Press with your hips. Press your right hand. Lift your left arm. And reach your left fingers way out back. Your left arm can probably lift up higher most times than your leg because it weighs so much less. Lift the left arm a lot. The palm is still facing down. One more full breath. And then lower. Hands come under your shoulders. Press to table or to plank and rise to down dog. Feet together. Dog split, which means no twisting. So the right leg reaches back. Now feel the same muscles really that you just felt when you lifted that right leg when you were on your belly. Imagine if my hand was right on the back of your right thigh and you're pressing up into that touch. So your toes point straight down. These look fabulous, the ones I can see. Your leg is in line with your body. One more deep breath right there. And now step your right foot all the way up between your hands for lunge. Stabilize, rise, crescent warrior. Frame your ears. And remember, adjust. If you feel like that back leg, it's great if it's straight, but is it pulling your hips out from underneath of you? Do you need to adjust the bend in your knee to get your hips under so that you can really lift your spine? Your spine is what's important here. And then wrap your left arm under the right, eagle arms. Reach your elbows away and then up into a little back bend. And in your back bend, your low back should feel kind of long. The back bend occurs more, you're working to get it more in your thoracic spine, your upper spine. Now keep the length and go out and over your front leg as far as you can. You want to go further this time, further forward, and then down. Wrap your right arm under your right leg. Bow to the earth. 3 to 5 really strong breaths here. You got to arm wrestle yourself with the leg and the shoulder. So you're pressing your shoulder into the back of your knee and pulling your knee back into your shoulder. Make your neck really long. One more deep breath. And then lower your back knee and start to shift this whole shape. Actually, I'm sorry. Once you lower the left knee, swivel your left foot behind you. And that makes a big difference. So basically your legs are in warrior two pose, meaning the right knee is externally rotated and the left, whatever, I said that wrong. Your left knee is externally rotated and you're working to keep your right knee internally rotated. So your legs are doing two different things. And you move back and forth here. Hip, shift, shift back, hip shift forward. Now the next time your hips shift back, could you unload a little weight out of your right foot, the front foot, and grab your big toe with peace fingers? And then you look under your left armpit, so you're twisted. And then you untwist and you come forward. And do that a couple of times. Pull your hips back, look under your left arm, and then come forward. So it's a lot of length in your waistline. There's twisting going on. You're all miscombobulated with opposite hand to foot. Now, when you pull back, could you move and adjust your right hand? You just got to pull it a little bit closer. It's going to make a shelf for that leg to sit on. And then you could lift the leg and twist. And breathe. And when you're done playing, put your foot back down, come forward, unswivel your back foot, bring your hand around, and float back to plank. Lower your left knee to the floor, side plank, right arm up in the air. Swivel your left foot back for half circle. Right or big toes come together. Open the top knee, open your top shoulder. Every time I do this pose, I feel like, Scotty, beam me up, right? Press your belly forward, press your chest up, let your arm fall back to open your chest even more. One more deep breath. And then circle your arm around. Bring your knees together, feet behind you. Lower all the way down onto your belly. Bring your hands along your sides again, palms face down. And they're not too close either. They're a little bit away from your hips. Try that chin position again. So you create extension in your neck and your cervical spine. If that doesn't feel good, remember, put your forehead to the floor so your neck stays long. Now press your hips down strong, really strong. Lift your left leg back and up. And stay there and breathe for a couple of breaths. And really, be aware of what's happening only in the back of the left leg. So your right leg is completely relaxed. Your hips are pressing down. And now press your left hand into the floor and lift the right arm. For me, sometimes I think here like my fingers and my toes. So all my fingers on my right hand and all my toes on my left foot, like they have little tethers on them and they're being pulled way back behind. One more deep breath. And then softly lower. Let's bring your hands under your shoulders, your choice, table or plank. No sagging though to get there. And then lift into down dog. Feet together. Ears in line with your arms. Dog split. That same left leg now goes up in this direction. Now when the right leg is forward like this, it's going to create a lot more engagement. So your head is in line with your shoulders. Good. Hips are square. Work to get that nice, Sheila. Get the left leg up and yeah, good squaring of your hips too. So the left leg's directly in line with your body. Feel your left glute working. And keep reaching back. One more deep breath. Love it, Rebecca. Step that left foot all the way up between your hands. Right foot follows, forward fold. Reverse swan dive. Inhale, soar out and up and open. Hold your upward mountain. Lift your heels. Lift your heels as high as you can this time without gripping with your toes. So in upward mountain, with a tippy toe balance, keep your heels lifted. Bring your arms out in front and start to sit into squat. Now kind of go slow. Heels lifted, arms reaching, chest lifted. So it's almost like you're trying to sit in a high back chair. Oh my word, these look so good. One more deep breath. Lower your heels. Continue your way all the way down to have a seat behind your feet. Stretch your legs out in front. Now this is Paschimottanasana, so a seated forward fold, which creates length in the whole backside. We're going to blend it with reverse plank, okay? So sit tall, press your heels away from you, reach your arms up next to your ears. Arms upward, upward arms always gives you a sense of, this elongation, especially in your waistline. Lift your ribs high above your hips. Exhale, lean forward, open your arms wide in T. We're going to do this a couple of times. So inhale, sit up tall. You might need to bend your knees a little bit. Exhale, fold, because when you fold forward, the first thing to hit is your belly to your thighs. And then come up. Do that one more time. Exhale, hinge forward, hold. Reach your hands back behind, clasp your fingers, reach your knuckles away, and continue folding your belly onto your thighs. And maybe your head can come down towards your knees as your knuckles go really high. Well, there's a lot of work there. Breathe deeply. Love the reaching of the heels, ladies. These are gorgeous. Now counter pose. Reach back through your knuckles. Lift yourself up tall. Place your hands behind, probably fingers pointing to the sides. Or fingers point behind, one or the other. Point your feet. Press into your heels and your hands. Lift your hips. Reverse inclined plane. Now lift your breastbone a lot. Work to point your feet so strong that you're attempting to get the balls of your feet down to the floor. Lift your hips and lift your collarbones. One more full breath. Slowly lower your hips. Flex your feet right away. Sit up tall out of your hips, reach your arms. Exhale, hinge forward, get your belly on your thighs. Sweep your hands behind one more time, clasp your fingers in the awkward way. Knuckles reach back, fold tightly. As you continue to fold your belly on your thighs, reach the top of your head past your toes. Past your toes, like you're continuing to try to elongate your spine. Tell you what, that's almost always the keystone movement in yoga. Longer spine, longer spine. Now reach back through your knuckles, sit up tall. Last reverse inclined plane with a little surprise if you'd like. Fingers point back or to the sides. Press, lift. Now reach strong into one heel. Lift your right leg up. Hips high. And then lower and switch. Lift. Nice. And lower. Hips come down. Arms up high at a high diagonal. Soften your knees. And roll your spine down onto the ground. As soon as you land, bring your right knee into your chest. Give it a hug. Knee down twist. Step your right foot on your left thigh. And help yourself to pull the right knee across your body. For the most part, your right shoulder stays anchored to the floor. You can turn your head in any position you like. One more deep breath. And as you exhale, unwind. Slide your right leg out long. Switch. Left knee in close. Nice hug. And then step your left foot on your right thigh. Use your hand to help guide your knee across into a twist. Lovely. Come back to center and adjust yourself for a few minutes, a brief Shavasana. Or if there's any additional movements that your body is calling for, absolutely do that. And once you settle into Shavasana, a quick scan again to continue build awareness, really, or I would say more of a connection, because it's one thing to be aware, and then I guess that's the first step, is that the constant vast array of sensations that are always present in your body. And then from that place of being aware of them, to be connected to them. Right? To really listen intuitively. Because that vast array of sensation is information. And it generates greater insight in terms of some of the really big questions in life. Like, what's the right thing to do? When's the right time? How much is enough? And of course, the biggest of all, who am I? It's all there. The answers we seek are not very rarely outside. They're inside. And here's the challenging part. They don't work with words. The answers come to us in little nudges, in inklings, in gut feelings, in intuition. And they come in moments of quietude and space, where there's awareness and connection. Be breathed. For this celebratory week, I'd like to close our class today with a poem from Dana Fouts, From Root to Bloom. It's one of my favorites by her. It's called Quiet Revolution. She says, "Mine is a quiet revolution. No fireworks light the sky. No fireworks light the sky proclaiming liberation. There's just a sure sense of presence that fills me with stillness. I can't seem to worry anymore, can't seem to make myself rush to the finish that I once deemed so important. Instead, I stand awestruck before another sunset, Grateful for another day to love and to be loved. So simple and so humbling. Let's take a deep, full breath in. Fill your lungs up. Pause for a moment. Feel it. Really feel it with every fiber of your being. And by all means, don't cover it up with words. And then let it go with a sigh. And take your time to move in any way that feels right to you. Rebecca, I so love Loki. I can't wait to meet your dogs in person. They're like love and honor all of Shavasana. And then come on up into a seated pose if you're not there already. Lengthen your spine one more time. Bring your hands to Anjali Mudra. And this very ancient and universal gesture of honor and respect, bring your thumbs to your heart and your heart toward your thumbs. There is a coming together. There's a connection, a union. Add to that and bow your head. So you recognize the light that resides inside, the wonder, the wisdom, the intuition. And honor yourself for coming to your mat with a sense of curiosity, a willingness to explore that through movement, through breath, through awareness, and to explore it with curiosity and understanding, right? This is a never-ending, ever-changing practice. So maybe we all experience our own quiet revolution. I thank you for showing up and shining bright. Namaste.